to GearWire.com. I'm Owen O'Malley, and this is the Eventide PitchFactor. This is our final video on the PitchFactor, video 3. In this video, we're going to see how you create presets and then access them in bank mode. Now, I'm on the harmodulator effect here. Remember before I found a harmodulator patch that I thought sounded really cool when it was distorted. Okay, now I think that's cool. So now in order to save it, we hold down our encoder button, which normally turns the tempo on and off. Now we've got bank 3, 1, and 2. The way the banks are arranged here, there's actually 100 banks, and each bank has, or rather there's 50 banks, and each bank has 2 patches, so you can have 100 presets altogether. Now, I've already got patches in 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1. Let's save it in 4, 1 here. So we select a bank, and we hold down save again. Now it was saved. Now when we want to access it, you hold down the tap tempo, and now we're in bank mode. Now basically the bank mode, to switch between banks by clicking the tap button. Now you can see that if you've got 50 banks and you're only tapping up, that can get, well, old quick. So you can actually limit the number of banks. You can limit the bank range that it switches through. So if you know you're only going to be using certain presets within a given show, you can kind of put them all together, especially if presets you're going to use in the same song in the same bank. So remember our preset here was in bank 4 and 1, and there's also a 4, 2, okay? But we want the 4, 1 preset. 1 and 2, you switch between those 2 presets with these foot switches down here. Oh my goodness, I'm falling apart. Whoa! All right. So you turn it on and off, the selected one, or you can switch between them instantly. Very nice. It's a little nice setup for live performance. Now, obviously, if you're using these buttons down here, which before were the tap tempo buttons and the flex buttons, you don't have them when you're in bank mode, but you can assign those parameters to the auxiliary switch, the expression pedal. The aux switch in here can accept up to a 3-function foot switch. So you can still have a ton of control over every patch, even when you're in bank mode, as long as you get some external momentary and expression pedal foot switches. Pretty cool. So let's just hear what that bank sounds like. So we've got our clean tone here. And here's our preset. It's really cool distorted. Get on there. You get some really awesome sounds with this pedal. Now, the encoder button you're also going to use to access all of your menu functions, of which there are many. There's a lot of MIDI functionality on this thing. You can use it as a master MIDI clock. You can sync it to another master MIDI device. It supports MIDI continuous control, so you can actually use these buttons to control external devices. Craziness. There's like a basic assign, learn function. You can also control the parameters on here with an external device. So, and with the sort of switchable level, sort of like instrument and line level auxiliary switches on the back here. I think this monster cable is dying. Hey-yo. You can use this thing in a DJ setup too. You can sync it up with a bunch of different drum machines, step sequencers, use MIDI devices to control the parameters on this guy. It's a very, very flexible device. And you access all the different menu functions by holding down the tap button. So now we've got bypass. There's a bunch of different bypass modes. You menu back with this. It's all pretty easy to use, actually. You've got your MIDI controls, your global controls, utility controls. There's a ton. There's a ton in this pedal. The good news is that it's easy to use all the preset effects right out of the box. And the manual is very extensive and very well written. So accessing all the sort of advanced effects and options in here will not be too much of a nightmare. If you've got the patience, you'll be able to do it. And again, it's a well-written manual. Darn you. Darn you. Anyway, that wraps up our epic look. Epic as always. The epic look at the Eventide PitchFactor, the latest pedal in the the Factor series of pedals from Eventide. It's basically the functionality of a sophisticated rack effects unit in a compact, relatively compact stomp box. It's housed in a die-cast metal housing, so it can take quite a bit of abuse. And it sounds fantastic. It's a great sounding pedal. So thanks for checking us out. You've been watching me, Owen O'Malley, on GearWire.com. Why don't you come back and see us sometime soon? See ya.